The flight was long. The car ride was bumpy. But we finally made it. We were in Sikkim, the small Indian state that borders Nepal, China, and Bhutan. We had 7 days to travel around this Himalayan paradise. I had come to India for many reasons, but one of the main reasons was to study religion. I was fascinated by everything about Indian religion: the mysticism, the gurus, yoga, the Hindu gods, and most importantly, for me, Buddhism. Throughout most of India, Hinduism is dominant, but in the small state, Buddhism had a rich history. I would finally be able to see Buddhist holy sites, and visit active monasteries, and meet saffron-cloaked monks. The first thing that struck me about Sikkim was the Tibetan prayer flags. Their capital was draped in them. They fluttered at the top of the world in the crisp breeze. Buddhism was everywhere. I felt like I was in heaven. Rumtek Monastery is west of the capital, and lays up on a beautiful hillside. The monastery was ornate and ancient. The prayer flags were massive and everywhere. Walking around it felt like something out of a movie. I was living in a dream. As we walked closer to the main hall, we heard chanting inside. I already knew that they were in the midst of a prayer session. I didn't want to interrupt. Outside, a monk motioned for us to come in. We hesitated, but we listened, and we followed. He ushered us inside into some seats on the side of the hall. The monks were in lines in the middle. They were chanting. It was absolutely breathtaking. I was in a real monastery. I was watching real monks. They were chanting real prayers, but it all felt so unreal. I was watching what I always wanted to see, but I wish I wasn't. I felt like an outsider who had traveled across the globe to fulfill some dream, to escape some culture, and now that I was here, my whiteness and my privilege was more apparent than it ever had been. When the monks brought us snacks and tea, it was too much. I thanked them and sat quietly. I was at the edge of the world in a monastery, but my mind was elsewhere. The beauty of the monastery and the experience brought hard truths to the surface. Luckily, I wasn't alone, though. I had my travel companions to talk to. After this experience, we all shared how we felt, and it was powerful to hear that they had similar ideas. The other guys in my group felt this same unease. We didn't come to any radical conclusions through our talk, but we were able to reflect together. It felt good. It felt good when we could look out to the mountains and sit there quietly together. The impact of my monastery visit was not what I expected, but it is something that I will have forever.